Yo!
Welcome, everybody!
What's up? This is Ryan and Lucy, Ruthlessly Committed.
Yes.
Here today, we have being a victim of the family.
Is that our kid crying?
Sounds like a wolf. I think there's a wolf in Ocean Beach.
I think it actually might be our kid. I don't know, because the monitor's off.
Oh, let me turn the monitor on.
Let's find out. Speaking of the family.
Oh, son of a gun.
How about I go get that and you explain, you lead them. You start them out. Figure out what's going on with baby.
No.
Yeah.
How about we pause and we restart?
She might need to go potty. Want to pause and restart?
No, I'll just share. What's up, guys? Hi, Jen, Chris. I'm by myself. So, yeah, tonight we're going to do being a victim of the family. And I guess I'll start out with myself. Man, I got the whole show to myself. What's up? I'm going to start out with just talking about why I'm doing the show, why we're doing the show. I was just thinking, hey, what's up, Jen? What's up, Will? By myself. Lucy's grabbing one of the babies really quickly and getting him or her to sleep, whoever's crying. But anyways, so this is being a victim of the family, and I was thinking just before we're getting on here, like why I'm doing the show, why we're doing the show, and it's something I've thought about a while, and we've had a big vision in the beginning of encouraging and supporting a lot of people and just getting ourselves out there and learning a lot and things like that. And one of the things, as Lucy and I were walking back from the beach today, we were talking about ending this season here. So we'll do this episode. We're going to do an episode next week, possibly next week or the week after. We'll figure that out. And so we're going to do one more episode after this, and then we're going to call it a season. And then we're going to start something new after that. And I was thinking, what's my big purpose, reason, what I really love about doing this show. And one of the big things for me has been just learning a lot about myself in our own marriage and getting the gift of, sharing. And as we're sharing, we are discovering a lot about ourselves. At least I've discovered a lot about myself and our relationship and what works for other people and what has really worked for us. And what's shareable and what's not and things like that. So
I have antibiotic cream on my hand.
Cool. So I was just sharing with everybody why I'm doing the show. Just like because we're talking about
say?
Yeah. So I was saying how
you have to recap it for me.
So I was saying how you
Hey,
and I were talking about calling this a season, doing this show, doing one more show after this.
Oh yes, I'm glad you announced that.
Yeah, and
because we went out for
it's had me reflecting on like why I'm doing the show to begin with.
Yeah.
And not just like a why as a purpose, but like what's exciting for me? Like what am I really getting out of it?
Keeps you wanting to do it.
Yeah, I was saying I love doing it with you because look at me like that. Because
no pressure.
I've learned so much about myself, you, and our relationship, and we've had some fights, some collisions, literally because hey, we have to talk about something on the show, like not having a fight to have something to talk about, but because we, we're planning to have something to talk about, we would get really deep into it and have to dig into ourselves and our truths and what's really behind some of the bullshit masks and stuff that we put on. Yeah. And those would turn into big collisions, and you've seen some of the fruit from that on the show. And so those have been some of the biggest gifts to me. And they literally transformed our marriage. They've transformed me as a man, as a husband, as a father. So, yeah, that's one of the, the exciting things of doing the show that I'm getting out of it.
Yeah.
What about you? Why are we doing this show?
It's the same. I hate to say, like, it's the same thing because I feel like that's not original at all. But but I enjoy showing up and talking about stuff with you. It's different than just having our regular conversations. We have to sit and like, okay, what are we going to talk about? What are we bringing to them? What's happening right now? What challenges are we facing or overcoming?
Now it's your turn.
And are you
Put your
changing your
shorts on.
pants? Nice butt. It won't count. So, yeah, so what has kept me interested and engaged in continuing to show up to this on Wednesdays is, digging into what's happening for us right now. And if everything is just kind of coasting along, I mean, it's never just coasting along. If it seems to just be coasting along, then I'm not really doing my part in this marriage, because we're not growing. So, yeah, and actually I was thinking today, I was telling Ryan, like he mentioned, to either have longer spells between episodes, and then he had the idea to just have seasons, which I thought was brilliant, because I'm like, I want to have more evenings together. Like we wanted to go on a date tonight, and I thought, well, I already announced the event, and Angela posted in it that she was excited to be to watch tonight, so I didn't want to just like, bail on you guys. I got a little bit off track, but yeah, the reason that I really have enjoyed doing this is because it allows us to connect in a different way with each other
And
by
it's just
sharing
fun.
it with you.
I love doing it just because it's also it's
and we
fun.
get a little hot and sweaty with this
show up,
light in front of us, and then we are already
We have,
sweaty.
I mean, this is, I don't know what week this is, but
This is 11.
for the longest time we have been saying and
Is
lying.
Angela even here?
Saying
She is not! What the fuck?
We have been saying and lying that, hey, we're gonna plan better. We're gonna strategically
We have not.
have a plan for these
No.
shows, and then every single week we just show up.
You know
and
what is up with that?
make
I
up a
think
point.
for me it's that, I don't want to plan too far ahead, because what if some good shit happens and then we want to talk about that.
For
But
me,
you know what's crazy
it's just
is we can
I'm
always do that.
irresponsible. I'm irresponsible.
That's literally the
I
belief
have
that has
a
been
coaching
keeping me.
call that I'm preparing for the night before. So I'm just like, my whole focus the days before that are the coaching call, and then I'm like, oh shit, tomorrow night we got ruthlessly committed. I'm just gonna show up. Let's come up with a topic, something that sticks and.
Well, and we could literally do that, weeks or possibly even months in advance. But we want to keep it fresh and juicy and all that. But the truth is, if something crazy, awesome happens, we can always shift directions and then be like, guess what? This week we're going to talk about BAM. Whatever it is.
Bam bam.
So, speaking of topics, today we're talking about
Being a victim of the family. So being a victim of the family, feeling trapped inside the family. And
wait, one point. Angela's not here. Chris asked, how long are we going dark for? So, we're thinking, a few weeks, but we haven't.
do you want to do a show next week? Or should we take a week break?
Let's do a show next week.
Damn it! Let's do a date night next week. Wednesday.
Do you want to do? We're
Let's
going
do
to
2
decide
date
right
nights.
now.
Let's do 2 date nights next week. Wednesday and
Oh
Friday.
my god. Okay, then this is what's going to happen. Next week there will be no episode, and then the following week.
Let's do a date night again.
We will be having a 12th episode, and then that will wrap up season 1, and then I think we're gonna take about 3 to 4 weeks off.
I don't know.
Talking
We're gonna
about this
announce it
earlier.
as
we'll
we
let
go.
you know for sure.
Summer's starting.
Yeah,
And
we'd
we
love
have
to
all
take you on
kinds
our
of-
date nights and just do more candid, impromptu.
Yeah, we're gonna do
videos.
some more of those
Yeah.
videos.
We won't just go completely dark. We're just not gonna do the Wednesday night episode every week. So, okay.
We'll keep you up to date.
We'll keep you posted. So, talking about being the victim to the family, and you were saying?
Yeah, I was saying. So, right now, I'm in this place of constantly taking control of what I want to create in my family. And it's really powerful. It's amazing. It feels great. I wake up every morning. I assess, what I want, like where we at as a family, what I want. And sometimes I put strategic action steps or plans in there, certain conversations I want to have with a daughter, with Lucy or something like that, with God, and I make that happen. But that has not always been the case, and that hasn't been the case for the first decade, first 11 years of our marriage. You're looking at me like that, like I have something great to say.
I'm
There's
on
pressure.
the edge of my
There's
seat.
pressure.
I'm
I
literally
know.
on the
Okay,
edge of
so
my
for
seat.
the first 11 years of my marriage, I was basically a victim of my family, but not always like in a bad way. Not like, oh man, my family sucks and this is the family I'm stuck with. But I was a victim to my family, the good and the bad. So when, things were going well, whether it work, you are just so still. Relax a little bit. Come on, you get me on the edge. Get me on the edge.
I just want to hear what you got to say. Well, the thought that
I'm
was
coming up
running
with
through
this
my
shit
mind.
like right now.
I was thinking like, oh, not being a victim in a bad way, but like, what other kind of victim is there? Is there a good one? Like when we're role playing or what?
Like, whenever I'm not taking control. And she hasn't even had any wine tonight. She's going sober this evening. It's crazy.
It's all me.
There's this lifestyle that I've practiced for my whole life of being basically a victim of my circumstances.
Yeah, whatever's happening.
So hey, if we're doing well as a
Controls
family,
what you
we're making great money. We have lots of time with the kids. We're living in a great spot, got a great house, or something like that. Something comes up, we get some blessings as a family. Things are doing well. That's great. There is a distinction between, hey, I'm just a victim of that. I'm rolling with it. That's cool. And like I didn't intentionally put all my effort in creating that myself. So either way, it's fine. But then that same mentality of just kind of going along with it. Hey, when shit goes crazy, when bills are not getting paid, or connection is not connection with the family, or hey, fucking one of the kids wants to talks about committing suicide, crazy shit. This is real stuff. I'm just a victim of like, oh man, I wake up like I don't even want to wake up. I'm like, I just want to go back to bed. I don't even want to deal with this. What I'm living with right now. I just want to go surfing. Let me find some way out. There was a season, the past year and a half, within the past couple of years, where I played video games a lot because I wanted a way out of all the shit I had to deal with in life. And so that's what I'm talking about. So being a victim of the family rather than waking up and intentionally going after what I want.
Yeah, to me that the way that I would say that is living in default, like a victim to the circumstances, basically.
Yeah, well,
like you
the
said,
family is
everything's going
circumstances.
good,
I mean,
exactly,
marriage
yeah.
can be shit sometimes.
Circumstances are everything. Like, hey,
Kids.
everyone is puking and diarrhea at the same time. That is a crazy circumstance. Like, we were there last year. That was some crazy shit, literally. But it could be anything. Like, Vivi waking up, she's usually passed out by now, but she has, like, a cut on her toe. And, like, well, that was unexpected, so I had to rub something on it just to make her think, oh, it's okay now. But at circumstance, big or small, for our emotions not to be controlled and our state not to be controlled by that, whether it's a high or a low.
Okay, so no, the emotions are gonna go either way.
Yeah, they come and go either way. Yeah.
So we can always change the story.
But
So this is what I'm thinking of. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and this person doesn't have kids, doesn't have a wife, and he can't wait to get on with the next season of his life because a lot of it is due to family, and it's not, so it's, him, I know a lot of people stuck with their spouses, stuck with kids. I mean, like physical ailed kids, or just kids that are just fucking like, they think they're brats, and that's the case. And we have kids that seem like they're shit sometimes. Like tonight we're dealing with some crazy stuff, and it is what it is. Like parenting is fucking tough. There's no manual to go with it. We don't know how to do this. We're learning, growing, figuring it out as we go, and the same thing with marriage. And so, but here's the thing, like this one guy in particular, he has family, but he doesn't like his family. And he just couldn't wait to get to the next season of his life. And basically, I'm looking at that as he doesn't want to tell them how he really feels. He doesn't want to make a stand for what he really wants. And he's not, and on top of that, he is not basically saying, this is where I'm at. I have no connection with my family. I want connection with my family, and I'm committed to creating it. I'm ruthlessly fucking committed to creating it. He's not doing that. He's just waiting for the next season. He's gonna go through, suffer whatever he has to, because this is the cards he was dealt with. This is the family that he has. Bunch of crazy ass people, and he can't wait to get on with the next season of his life. Maybe move to a new place, make some more friends, new communities, whatever. Rather than say this is my family, and I'm going to go after what I want in it. And so, he's not tied down to an immediate family. But I was thinking of all the people, and this is me, all the people who have kids, who have a wife. I mean, seriously, if it wasn't for my kids, there's probably multiple times where I would have committed suicide. And that's not just because my life sucks. A lot of it was due to my marriage. I wanted out of my marriage. I wanted out, and fuck Lucy, she can be on her own. She can take care of this shit by herself. The only reason I stayed in the game is for my kids. So I'm talking about being trapped in that. I'm trapped by my wife. I'm trapped in, And there's other times when, I say I'm staying in the marriage. I stay in the game because of my kids. But there's other times where I've been hopeless with my kids. It's like, man, we have been dealt some crazy cards with our kids. From babies to, man, I'd say Alexi's she's a fucking tough child. Mm-hmm. She's hard. She keeps us on our edge every single day, trying to figure out, what to do next, try something new, go back.
We can never get too comfortable and think that we have to figure it out, because we just realize that we don't. Yeah. Amber has a question here. Let's see if this is something that we can go into. So she says, I have a question. When you have a moment, scenario, family members cyberbully another family member, and the other family members sit and watch and say nothing because they don't want to get involved. Thoughts? So Amber, are you asking what would you ideally do if you're the one being bullied, or if you are the one watching, or I guess, what do you think?
I haven't seen this in person in my own family, and I don't have a great answer to this, and it would be really deep to go into, all the things that we could do and stuff. But I will say this has been a quote that I don't know where it came from. It came from a football show.
It's so good.
And it is so good.
I think Tony Robbins did it too.
Possibly, yeah. So actually, we said it last week. Yeah. So we have to Google it. After the show, we're going to Google this and figure out where it came from. But this is so good. And this is one of the things I live by. And we get what we demand, and get this, we encourage what we tolerate.
Yeah.
And that's the issue I see most times with most people. People don't make a stand, whether it's for our family, whether it's a husband for his wife, or for his kids, or friends. We don't make that stand, and nobody knows where we are.
Yeah.
Man,
doing nothing is literally the worst thing that someone could do. And there's that quote too, where people say, "Oh, the opposite of love isn't hate; it's apathy. It's apathy. It's just not giving a shit. It's not doing anything." And so Ember says, "I take stands and I stand alone many times," and that is what happens.
That's what fucking happens.
I can't tell you how many times we take a stand, and Ryan is he is in the thick of it right now, taking a stand and alone. Taking a stand, because and that's really, that's the only way to live in alignment with who you are, is to take stand after stand. Because if you don't,
after stand, it's
not a one-time thing. So,
but thanks for thank you for that. Yeah, we don't have a great answer for a specific situation, but that's powerful. Making that stand all the time, and we encourage what we tolerate. We enable what we tolerate.
Yeah, I think it was interesting because I think the first time I heard that, I said, "Oh, so we enable what we tolerate," and then you said, "No, encourage is very different. It's like yeah, do it," and we're tolerating it, and it's like like
And
welcoming more.
And here's the big thing. This comes up often for me in my journaling. But so I have a stand. This is me. People who know me, have relationships with me, they know me that I am not just a person of integrity, but I stand for integrity. I stand for integrity and connection. When I say stand, like this is what people are saying about you. Like when people introduce you, like this is what they would probably say about you, possibly. Like this is what you're known for.
Yeah, they know what you stand
And
for.
so I stand for integrity. I stand for connection. I stand for, being full of life and passion. But integrity, connection, those are two just big things that I always, that come up often. And what I learned about myself is there's no way I can be in integrity myself when I allow other people to just be out of integrity. When other people bullshit me or they're not living up to their standards, when I don't treat them like they can be, and I just treat them where they're at and call it good enough, like I'm literally not being integrity myself. Like I have to make a stand for them. Like my stand is not just me and my own little island, my own world. Like it's all around me. It's for my family.
Yeah.
It's for my kids.
That is called living in
If I'm
fantasy.
if I'm in integrity, but my wife is just living in her own little world full of shit, and my kids are, I want to get specific, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now.
I mean, we did just tonight, having the conversation with Alexia about the costume thing. It's
Yeah,
like
I mean, we could have
tolerating-
because we had this show to get ready for and everything.
Yeah.
And we could have just been like, oh, baby, it's okay, you can do it next year. And the truth of it is she didn't take fucking responsibility for what she wanted. She wanted a costume.
She wasn't committed.
But you look at her pattern, like nothing in her being, in her patterns, what she was doing the past weeks and weeks and
Nothing
weeks.
showed the commitment.
Showed that she actually
to
cared about her
making this
costume. So we could have been like, oh, baby, it's sorry. Or we could have fixed it real quick and saved her.
Which is what I did last year, and I told her, like, Mommy's not going to do that for you. I mean, you're lucky it worked out
here's
last
the thing,
year.
we tolerate that and we encourage it.
Yeah.
But we make a stand for her and say, hey, baby, you want something, you got to work for it. This is what I'm doing. This is what I expect of you. Not because we're trying to make our kids work their ass off, but we're just teaching them principles in life. This is stuff that actually works.
Yeah.
And she thinks she wants something and she's not, hey, Janae.
Hey, Janae! You're up to, you're good. We're going to talk about this whole integrity thing. It's okay.
Yeah. It's been a huge topic lately the past, months.
Amber has
Especially
a
the past
great
couple of
comment.
weeks.
It really has been. We've been working a lot on this with our clients. So Amber says, I don't say what they want to hear. I have found that many want to live believing lies rather than the truth. And that is 100%
Yes,
accurate.
that is it. Call it fantasy land.
And she says, I stand for compassion for others, for children, for the innocent. So, it's uncomfortable to take stands. And I was talking with Ryan today about how I have failed to take a stand for my clients at different times, one in particular. And we learn. They're learning opportunities, and then you get to recommit. Like, okay, well, what am I committed to doing with my clients now or in the future? But I think like we're getting, are we getting a little bit off topic?
Yeah.
So
back to being trapped.
family?
Back to being trapped. Yeah. So the big thing that brought this to my mind was with this guy in particular, and he's basically looking for the way out of his family. He can't wait for the next season, and basically wants to shirk all responsibility for making a stand for what he wants, which is integrity. No problem, Amber.
Yeah, no, you're
That was great.
Thank
That
you.
was
It
great.
was a great question.
But instead of
Very
making a
relevant.
stand for what he wants, which is integrity, he wants connection, he wants love, he wants intimacy, he wants all these things. He's not getting them. So instead of fighting for them and making that stand and saying, this is what I want, I will do whatever it takes to get this, he just pretends. Well, he doesn't pretend because it eats him away inside.
That's
but
the
when
thing.
he
It
shows
doesn't
up,
go away.
when he shows up to his family and his friends, he pretends like everything's okay. And then he comes back and he complains and bitches about it, eats away at him inside.
Yeah, so when we do this and we're just kind of waiting for the
And
season to pass,
and he's waiting for
things
next
to
season.
get better.
But here's
then
the thing.
we carry that shit with
There's
us to
some
the next
people
season.
that are fucking. I mean, this is us right now. And oh man, this is so good. Like I'm part of the Warrior movement now. I just joined that. And I'm excited. I'm getting to watch all these men's in the thick of all these men. Did I say men's?
Men's.
All these men in the thick of pain, in the thick of
Old
reality.
men's.
It's like, man, this is what it would look like if all these people I was walking around that like zombies actually got real with themselves and admitted what's really fucking going on in their hearts.
Which is crazy for him to witness that actually in an entire community.
It's been so powerful.
It's really there.
And yeah, so I say some of these men, not these men in the warrior movement, but just men in general, some men and me, I feel so trapped in a marriage. Hey, when the marriage is not working, like right now, my body doesn't fucking work. It sucks. And my story is past, whatever. I can't surf right now. In the past, I could surf. And I could not wait. I mean, if things were good, waves are good, yeah, of course I want to surf. But I would go out in the shittiest conditions if I'm fighting with Lucy, because I don't want to be around the house. I don't want to be around the kids. I don't want to be around Lucy when shit is not going well. So I would go surfing. And if it wasn't surfing, it's something else. It's always it could be some sport, or just taking walks, or skateboarding, or video games, or watching movies, reading books. I got in this crazy book thing, like all kinds of stuff. I'm always looking for some kind of way to sedate and escape. And so that was that mentality of feeling trapped in the family. And this is, you deal with moms all the time. This is moms, this is dads, this is kids. Kids feel trapped in their siblings. Lexi, we talk about Lexi being, a challenging child. The poor girl, she was the baby of the family for the longest time, for 5-6 years. And then all of a sudden, 2 babies come out 5 or 6 years later, and then they're the babies.
She's not
the baby anymore. And she feels trapped. She's this middle child, lost, and she was already, had this personality of wanting to be special and unique and everything. And now she's, there was a season where she felt invisible. She probably still does feel invisible.
Yeah, we go through these periods and we see the signs now. We know what to look for. And that's when tonight, when things came to, when she's scrambling to figure out her costume. And I've been asking her about it all week, actually. Because I know that the Comic-Con thing is tomorrow. And she's like, no, I'll figure it out now. I'm like, okay, well, she doesn't really care. So I'm not going to go in and, rescue her on this. She clearly doesn't care that much. But it's crazy how much we learn through every single one of these interactions. And it seems like, I don't know, I always see a lot of myself in her, but I'm taking things off topic now, so let's bring it back.
Okay. Being trapped in a family. So even like Lexi being trapped, with her siblings, with the toddlers, with us as parents.
Like feeling trapped, because we have toddlers, we can't do the stuff with the big kids that we really want to do. But here's the thing is that if we don't have, for me, if I don't have a vision for what I'm going to do with the big kids, it just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. They just go on a play date, they stay there after school until dinner time, and then just regular stuff, baths, bedtime, they're done. So it's without a vision, without knowing what it is that you're committed to. Parenthood and marriage will just eat you alive. That's the truth of it right there. So then, truly victims to that, victims to the family, victims to circumstances. And I was thinking about that this evening. I don't remember what it is that inspired that, but that sucks. Nobody wants to live like that.
Well, here, let's get fucking real. Because I could do this, but I think you have probably better stories than me. So give one story of you feeling like a victim to the kids, but let's say just me. Because I know the past couple of years, I've given you some crazy times where I know I've made you feel trapped.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Let's get real.
I think, really the biggest one right now is with Alexi. I want to think of something with you, but it's just not coming to my mind right now.
I was like, oh shit, I really messed up. She's crying.
You fucked me up. I'm your victim. There are plenty of stories there, but this is just what's happening right now. This is current right now. Because I know that I have not been showing up for Alexi. And she is just, it's like these little cries for attention, Because when she's getting what she really needs, when she's connecting with us, and she doesn't feel like just an afterthought. Whatever's left over after we're done with the toddlers, whatever's left over after we're done with work, then we get to be with Alexi. With Callie, it's different. I feel like it's very different with her because she will, first of all, she likes to do more of the same stuff that we like to do. So we'll go and take her and ride roller coasters for 2 hours and she's good. She's so happy. And we connect. And we have these experiences. Alexi doesn't like to do that. So and she's too short for the big ride, so it just doesn't happen. And I don't want to take her to the art store every time, you know? So she's just harder to connect with, and she's me when I was a kid. I wasn't that moody, but anyway, she's so much like me. So I know that I haven't been connecting. So this is why when there's not that intention, when there's not that vision, when the commitment isn't there, it doesn't happen. And not only that, but it eats away at us. And so this is eating away at me right now, because I know that she's the one kid that I have not made the intention to connect with this week, and she sorely needs it. So so I was really bummed about her costume too, because I was looking forward to going to watch her on the stage in the morning, and now she's not wearing a costume. So I'm I want to save her so badly. I just want to go in and fix everything for her, but I know that doesn't serve her. That doesn't serve her. And it's so hard as a parent, and then as a wife, so many times where I saw Ryan struggling when he just didn't want to wake up to life. He just didn't want to wake up, literally, period. And there was just too much pain, and I wished that I wanted to be able to save him. I wanted to be able to fix him and do something to just make him all better. And I couldn't do anything. But the thing is that then I just felt trapped. So there's no freedom in that. Instead of taking responsibility for the story that I created about him. That was the biggest thing that kept me trapped, was the story that I created about Ryan. That, he's just an angry person. Oh, he's just an asshole. He's just overly emotional. He's just all these stories I had about him. That really, they still creep in every once in a while, and I'm like, well, you know what, is that true? But I have and continue to be, anytime that I'm trapped in my own stories. I don't know what to add to that.
Yeah, well, we can shift this around. I mean, that's a great thing to go into, is the stories. So that is the beginning of being trapped. We're trapped, we're victim. You know, that's a good story right there. My kids, I don't know what to do about them. Fucked up kids, fucked up kid, whatever it is, fucked up husband, wife. He's a big dickhead. I'm a big dickhead. You know, this is the story.
We're all big dickheads, is the truth.
Yeah, this is the story. And the thing is, we often continue to live in that story for years, for months, years, decades. And then we sedate. We fucking sedate with Netflix, with wine, with drugs, with video games, with movies or walks or whatever we have to do. Surfing, we sedate with it. I'm not against Netflix or against surfing, against any of that stuff at all. I'm just saying that's what we do, because the pain is so fucking real. This pain is so big. The story has so much evidence compiled underneath it saying that Ryan is a big dickhead, my kids are fucking crazy, and this is an impossible situation, and why can't I just have this life of this other woman? Why can't I have this life of someone else? Yeah. And the pain is so real. For me, the pain it includes my body, it includes all this other stuff. So I would feel so trapped. My kids, wife, situation, even living in San Diego, because it's been expensive. It's been new to us living here. We haven't been used to paying such big ass bills. You know?
LA was pretty crazy too.
And LA was pretty crazy too. And we felt trapped there too. I felt trapped there also. And there's been, so many times where we're so lucky, so blessed to get to live in San Diego, in Ocean Beach. And this is amazing. We got this awesome house, such a cool spot. And that's cool. And it looks great to everybody on the outside, but on the inside it's and shit, we need to make a lot more money.
We need to get a new van.
I feel,
we literally, I have felt trapped. 2 weeks ago, I cried my eyes out because I thought we were going to get our van fixed at the shop. And then, nope, it's goner. It's done. So I'm I felt so trapped. We can't. And mind you, we live in a place where we can walk to the beach, to the cliffs, to the pier, to little stores. And we've never lived in a place like that before here. But still, I felt trapped. I'm we can't drive to take a camping trip or a family vacation in
trapped.
one vehicle.
We're trapped with too many people in our family.
We're trapped in paradise.
We need
We
a bigger vehicle again.
No, but I mean, we just have to split up and divide and conquer, but we can't be together in one vehicle.
But
anyway,
that's the story. The story is being trapped. The story
Yes.
is being a victim.
Yeah.
Which is real. And so the thing is, we have to face
And it's
that.
real to you, and it's real to you. You are creating. That is your reality.
Yeah, we have to go through, when I'm trapped like that, to go through. This is why I release the rage. I go into my closet and go fucking crazy.
Get that shit out.
And get it out. I'll usually I'll lose my voice, things like that. And, I face, the story that's going on in my head. I face the emotions. I face what's going on. And I face what's not working for me. And then I create, you're going to go through something else?
I thought I saw a commentary from Amber that a while ago. The fact that you know it and it hurts you makes all the difference. We are human. You aren't alone. And Chloe is extremely moody. Yes, we know what it's like to have an extremely moody child. Amber, we feel you. I wanted to acknowledge that comment because that is, thank you for the kudos there. And once you are awake to the pain and you're not numbing, then you can do something about it. But as long as you're just like, nope, everything's fine, everything's good, my life is great, it's perfect, I got my shit all covered. And there's no chance. But if it hurts, I don't want to run away from the fact that it hurts. I mean, it fucking hurts. And I don't want to pretend like it's okay. Because then who knows, like it could be 8 years and my kid is graduating from high school and she just never wants to see me again because we never connected. And then not that it's too late to repair, but I don't want to be there. I don't want to do that. So anyway, I'm sorry I cut you off. I wanted to acknowledge Amber's comment. The stories and feeling trapped.
Going from where we are to what we want. So let's say I feel trapped in my marriage. The only thing that's going to get me what I want is the fucking commitment.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
was just
getting
telling
up.
Alexi this
And
week.
it's not always a clear-cut, easy how. We follow our hearts. But we have that old story, or it's not the old story, it's the story. You have this legit story that I'm trapped,
real
I'm a
to
victim.
you.
My family is like this. I'm married to this person, I have these kids, and it's fucking tough. And I face the reality of what's really going on. And then I get to create a new story. This is what I want. Yeah. And here's the thing, and so I'll just give you an example of Lucy. And I was reading some journaling today, and I went through this time when I got in this fight with Lucy, and I remember the original story that was going through my head was, Lucy she's a bitch. She doesn't give a shit about the marriage. She doesn't give a shit about the kids. She is so engulfed in her business and what she wants to do. And we had this fight, and this is history. And I remember just being so pissed off. I remember screaming and into the towel and releasing it and just getting it all out and getting so mad. And I created a few more stories after that. And the final story was that Lucy is an amazing wife and she's an amazing mom. And that sounds crazy when my original story is Lucy's a bitch and she's this. And I had all this evidence at the time, got me feeling all crazy. And our story, here's the thing, our stories create our emotions.
Yeah. What we tell ourselves is true, the beliefs we have.
Whether we're feeling sad, angry, guilty, ashamed, all this stuff, it all comes from a story that we have playing in us. And so when I create that new story, hey, Lucy she's a powerful woman. She's an amazing wife, amazing mom. And then I got that story going, and we have, a powerful, awesome marriage. And it's not fucking delusional fantasy stuff. That's the story. And then I pile the evidence underneath it. And I look back at the days, the weeks before, even months before, and I see Lucy, she did this for me. She did this for the kids. She showed up in this, even when this happened. She has done so much. She is a badass mom. She is this. And then I get that new story. And this is the story I'm a part of. And this is our marriage is amazing. And I choose that story. And I get to choose the story and make the story that serves me and what I want to create the most.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's really the key, is if it serves you in what you are committed to creating and what you want to create. And we have the power to shift that. So it's funny because I was looking at Byron Katie's website the other day, and at the end she said something about, she's this like teacher. I'm not sure what she would classify her as, but she's like a big figure, public figure. She said, I have a great marriage. I don't know what kind of marriage my husband has. It's none of my business. I was like, oh, that is really interesting. She's like, to me, my marriage is amazing. And she's all about, shifting the stories and creating new stories to support your vision. But yeah, I thought that was funny.
And so here's the thing. So it's also not as easy and simple as, I just created a new story and then I'm living in this awesome fairy tale Disneyland thing. So when I create a new story, and like back at that, I don't remember exactly what happened then, but I create that new story of, okay, we have a great marriage, and Lucy is awesome, and she's amazing mom, amazing wife, and she gives me, so much. She's a huge freaking gift of God. And the thing is, when I'm faced that reality, I'm faced with all the shit that's going on right now. Like I have to go face her again. I have to go talk to her. I have to go see her.
Face these people.
Yeah, I have to have a difficult conversation with her saying, okay, this is going back to, this is what I want. I know we just had this big fight. This is what I want. Obviously, we were not on the same page. And, just acknowledge everything that happened. Acknowledge where I was, who I was being. But this is what I want. I want this connection. I want this, the integrity, the connection, passion, intimacy. I want this between us. I want this powerful marriage. And so this is where we are right now. Now let's make this happen. And so I have to make that stand. I have to come back and make that stand, whether it's with my kids or with Lucy or wherever it is. Like there's basically two ways to go. One is I can say, the story sucks. I'm trapped, and I'm gonna run and hide. I'm gonna cover up shit. I'm gonna make things seem like they're better than they are.
And then time will just like magically heal it.
And people, oh my gosh, people love that. Time will make it better. Time will heal. Time doesn't heal fucking shit. Time makes it worse.
But you can like 5 decades later.
The more time goes by,
again,
the more
right
the
there.
lies get deeper and deeper, so much that we forget that they ever existed. And then we're living in such a fantasy land, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So there's that way, and that goes to sedating and neglecting, being passive, waiting for the next season so I can get on with my life, maybe move. Maybe she'll divorce me. Maybe I can find another woman, and all the same shit will happen again, or whatever. I don't know. Let's make another kid. Whatever we think is the easy way out.
Another kid. That is that other question. This is not happening.
But it's a very passive way of handling it compared. Or I guess the other option is
get your big boy pants on and handle your business.
It's to fucking collide. It's to say, hey, this is what I want. Okay, our marriage, like we had this big fight. And now I'm going to go back and say, this is what I want. I want us to have this marriage. What is it going to take to make that happen?
Yeah.
Acknowledge what I've done, where we're at, all the shit that's happened. No beating ourselves up or anything. It's just acknowledging, okay, you're here. I guess we've made a full circle back to integrity again. Because it's all fucking
integrity. It always
integrity.
comes back to that.
But it's just going back to what we want. Because here's where we get stuck in our lives. Is when we lose track of what we actually want. We call what we have good enough. Lucy is never going to change. This bitch doesn't listen to nothing. She doesn't understand English. And man, she does not understand what a man goes through. I get stuck in those lies or those stories. Yeah. And it just builds and builds and builds and builds. All of a sudden, I'm 10, 20 years down the road. We're fucking roommates.
And it's the same story on replay.
Instead of going up to her, manning the fuck up, facing her, and colliding with her and saying, this is what I want. What do you want? You want this? You want whatever? We'll figure out what we want. What is our vision? And let's make that happen. And that is right here. Boom. We're going to end this season here. We got one more after this. But it's all back to this. Ruthlessly fucking committed. You want to talk about how we create things. Back to what Garrett says. We don't get what we want. Garrett White. We don't get what we want. We don't get what we're entitled to. We don't get what we deserve. We get what we are ruthlessly fucking committed to creating. And that is an intention every single day. I wake up in the morning and I have to get my shit straight. I have to sit there and assess what is going on with my family, with my kids, with my wife, with my business, with my other family? Where am I right now? What is my connection with my kids? What is my connection with Lucy? And what do I want? And make it happen.
On that note, that is perfect.
That's an hour. No, it's 45 minutes. We have a little time. So
yeah,
let's go into a, what is that? A call to action. We're going to get this stuff figured out for our second season. Call to action.
What do we want you to do? Clearly didn't think about this ahead of time.
No, we did not think about this ahead of time.
Oh my god. What do we want you to do?
So I challenge you. And you know what? I love this. The guy who created the Warrior Movement, and just an amazing guy. Garrett White always says, grab your journal, grab your pen, write this down. And that's what I'm going to have you do. You feel trapped by your family. Husband, wife, your kids, shit, maybe your church, your community, your job, your relationships all around you. All I got to deal with these people. This person is never going to change. This person is this. This person's a punk. This person's a pussy. This person is gutless, and we love to talk shit behind their backs. There you go. You want to see the evidence that we feel trapped, that we're being victims? You listen to people fucking give you stories about other people and how they're messed up and how they're never going to change. Being, gossiping. So if you have even a reason to gossip, I'm asking you to grab paper, grab a journal, grab a pen, and write down your situation right now. Man, this is a lot, actually. I didn't think about this.
This is a lot. You're going to walk him through the whole process?
Write down the situation. And write down. Man, dang it. This is a lot. Okay. Let me see. Write down the situation. And write down...
simplifies this. This is a big process,
I dug myself a hole.
Bit off more than we could chew. How about something more bite-sized?
Bite-sized, that's a good idea. Well, here you go. Let's just go with noticing.
Yeah, I was gonna say acknowledge, simply
acknowledging that, hey,
where you have a story, because if you can at least see that it's a story, then there's hope. There's hope for you to shift that. Without even noticing, it's you're just a robot. So
now I'm sweating because now I'm all nervous. I feel like I had something huge.
So what I would say,
here it is. So
yeah, noticing.
Just notice where you are not getting what you want. You feel trapped. You even have a reason to gossip. You feel like a victim. And I'm back to this place again.
Just notice where you feel trapped and where you feel like life isn't working for you. Just notice that. Notice that. Acknowledge it. Get real with yourself. Stop lying to yourself.
And saying, acknowledge that, and then what do you want? So write down, what do you really want?
Yeah.
So write down the situation, what's going on, acknowledging the situation, and then what you really want.
Yes. What's the reality right now, and what do you want? And that is that's a big thing.
That's a big thing. There's something in between, though.
There's some stuff in between.
That's all.
But that's where we want to
stuff.
Start you out. That's where coaching comes in. That's where all of the support and the tools come in. But begin there.
But yeah, I think just acknowledging, going back to our conversation, just acknowledging, what are you doing? So this is where you're at, but this is what you want. This is what you want with your wife. This is what you want with your husband, your kids. And are you neglecting it? Are you waiting for the season to pass?
Ooh, Janae says that she sedates being busy, and you are not alone in that. That was my number one, sedation for sure.
Yeah.
And lots of moms too. Yeah. So I think that's
the
longest action step, call to action. We want to keep
this is
you
my
guys
fault.
hanging.
Oh,
I
it's
think
okay.
we got it though.
No, so notice, are
Here.
you sedating? Are you distracting yourself? Are you being passive? Are you in Fantasyland waiting for the season to pass or something to change? Maybe for my husband to change or my wife to change or some
My
miracle.
job to change or
Yeah, some miracle to happen.
my kid to grow up.
Or are you actually committed to making what you want happen, to creating what you want?
Yes.
All right, so the situation, what's going on? Are you running from it? Are you hiding it? Are you hiding from it? Are you being passive about it, waiting for it to go by? Or are you committed to creating what you want, creating the connection with your spouse, creating the connection with your family, your kids, even extending beyond that, coworkers and community, church, things like that? Are you committed to actually creating that? And
That's it.
I think that's it. All right.
You really went on with that one. It's that simple. What is your current reality? What do you want? And then how are you numbing yourself from getting there? I love you.
I love you too.
That green is nice.
All right,
today.
guys. So we have 2 weeks from now. So not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that. We're
We'll
gonna
do
wrap
episode
up this
12.
season
Yeah.
with episode is 12, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, we did a dozen episodes. That's 3 months.
That's
Yeah.
right. Crazy.
Been doing this for 3 months. So our last episode, and it is going to be, we don't have a name for it yet,
But it's about loving yourself.
but it's about
Which
loving
is
yourself.
Very important.
And it's gonna be fucking powerful. It's gonna be big. Here's the thing. It's pretty rare that we love ourselves. And we live in this delusional state, this delusion, this fantasy that, if
Chris is still here.
it's okay that we don't love ourselves. We just will give. We'll give. Service, love,
We don't
affection.
give it away.
No,
We're
I don't.
going
We're gonna
there.
give it away. We'll probably be going overtime on the next one anyways.
Okay.
And
A little sneak peek.
and yeah, and that love is just not real. It's not powerful.
Yes! Chris says, I'm committed to creating an abundant life. Yes, you can. I love it. I love that you are still you're still with
Thanks, Chris.
You
We love
people.
you.
Oh,
All right,
my
so
God.
2 weeks from now, loving ourselves first and the power of that, power of leading ourselves, power of, like Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. And so we can't really fucking love our neighbor. We can't love our spouses or even
Unless
our kids
you love yourself.
unless we love ourselves first.
Yeah.
So
Otherwise, it's a
2 weeks from now,
facade.
we're going to do that, wrap up our season, and good night. We love you guys.
Good night. Love you all.
Night, Chris.
Chris,
Love you.
love you too.